faced them enough to know that I have ultimate respect for what they can do on the field.
So, Cam, I need your help on this. In my lengthy career, I cannot remember a beat-down turnaround like the one I witnessed starting on that night of November 8th, that Sunday night at Tampa, and then 2 months plus later, that January 17th playoff game at New Orleans. The whole script got flipped, and that Sunday night, you guys had annihilated Tampa. You had humiliated Tampa. And what changed? Did the Bucs get that much better? Did you guys just have an off game? What changed so dramatically in the playoff game?
Look, anytime you take the field, as you know, it's any given Sunday. But you talk about, the first two games and the third game, the difference being it's not like, Tom threw for 300-400 yards. He threw for, I think it's right under 200 yards. The ground game, the second game, I think they ran for 8 total yards. This time they ran for, I think Leonard had 60 on the ground. That field position was the main difference. I mean, they put up 21 points with under 65 yards of offense. And, I think Shannon has said it earlier. You gotta eliminate some of the 7 points on the board. You got to make them kick field goals. So that didn't happen, and you saw the sway that happened our way. I mean, did we think we were better than them? Yeah, but we gave them every chance and every reason to win that game. I mean, when they have a short field, you have to eliminate that 7-point possibility.
I watch you guys up 7, and it looks like you're going there. You're going to bare minimum, you're going to get a field goal, and Jerry Cook fumbled the ball, and it seems from that point on, they got the momentum, and you guys were never able to get it back. Do you feel that was one of the major turning points of the ball game?
In any given game, it's not just one major moment. But you think about, how the second half unfolded the way it did. These are, plays you wish you could have back.
So, Cam, you've seen Tom Brady now up close and personal 3 times at age 43. Give us your view of him at this stage and age. What are you seeing from Brady?
It's playoff Tom. I mean, if that's a thing, I mean, he's got 6 rings for a reason. I mean, this is 10th Super Bowl to come in there. When you're able to get pressure on him early, when you're able to, clog up that middle, that interior pressure push is going to be huge to affect him. I mean, once he's affected, it can change the whole diameter of how you play the game. So this is just something that, being aware of who he is. I mean, it's not like you have to worry about how mobile he is. He's not going to escape the pocket. He's not going to just take off and beat you with his feet, but he is going to make all the right throws. He's able to dissect the defense immediately.
Do you see any decline at all in him at this age? Do you see any lack of, loss of arm strength or quickness of release?
Now, if anything, his release is getting faster because he knows he's not trying to get hit. I mean, when you talk about he's well aware that he's 43. I mean, and his ability, again, to register defenses, to attack a defense with the intermediate throws, the shallow routes, the checkdowns that have been so valuable to him. I mean, he's got all the weapons to do so. You talk about Antonio Brown, Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Jones in the backfield. They've got every weapon imaginable to make up for anything that about him holding the ball or trying to make those deep passes each and every time. And he's coming in with the ability to get the ball out the fastest in the league.
You're one of the best people to talk about this because you face both teams. You faced Kansas City, you lost to them, and you lost in the divisional round to the Bucs. What do you like about the Chiefs in this matchup, and what do you like about the Bucs in this matchup?
I don't like nothing about either one. If it's not the Saints, I don't have any sort of nothing about, nobody. But if you say, who's more dangerous, I would, maybe tilt the scale towards the Kansas City Chiefs. When you talk about Tyreek Hill being one of the fastest in the game, you talk about, Travis Kelce being the best tight end in the game right now. You talk about what Chris Jones can bring in terms of that interior push. And, of course, I'm always rooting for a former Saint and Alex Okafor. I think that, they have a slight edge with Mahomes being the playmaker that he is, able to, wheel, deal, and push out anything he wants to. I mean, he'll throw left-handed. He'll throw across the body in the middle. he'll throw no-look passes. I mean, the ability for them to surprise an offense is second to none in this league.
What makes Mahomes so special? Because, you know, watching him, I mean, you get an opportunity. Obviously, you're trying to get him on the ground, but you watched him on tape. You watched him on film. What makes him so special?
His ability to make those types of plays that you don't expect. You know, he'll roll out right. He'll roll out left. If anything, again, he's always looking for this downhill play. It's a lot like playing Russell Wilson. He escapes the pocket, and yet he's still looking downfield to make those big electric plays. And at the same time, you know, he is a bigger body. He can take off with his feet, so you have to be well aware. You're trying to keep him in the pocket. At the same time, you're still trying to get to him. I mean, he's somebody who can beat you with his arm.
So, Cam, what happened in that game at New Orleans late in the year, December 20th, when Kansas City visited? Again, the score is 32-29, so it looks like you're in the game. But I look at the time of possession. Mahomes had the ball 41 minutes to your 19 minutes. And Kansas City went 9 out of 18 on third down, and your offense went 1 of 11, and yet you were still just 3 points shy. Break that down for us.
That's easily done. We were looking forward to that rematch. I mean, if you look at that time of possession and you see how close the game is, we like the way we were matching up. We just didn't finish the game the way we wanted to.
Okay.
So who are you picking in this game? You got to pick somebody. I know you don't care who wins, but you got to give us something, Cam. Give us something.
Look, I can only promise you two. Look, I can only promise you two things. There's going to be a red team that wins it, and it's probably going to be a quarterback who's won the Super Bowl to win it again. That's all I can give you.
You really went on a limb on that one.
You know, I tried.
So let me ask you this: What do you see the keys? Because Skip and I was discussing it before. Is that in the first game, Kansas City blitzed Tom Brady 48% of the time, where the Bucs only blitzed Mahomes 17% of the time. Do you see that trend continuing? Because if you look at the way they approached Green Bay, they didn't blitz at all. JPP and Shaq Barrett just got home.
Yeah, two different quarterbacks there. I mean, you can for sure see more blitzes coming to affect Tom Brady. Again, the early and often you can put pressure on him. You can make those hits on Tom. The more success you're going to have in the game. But it might just come down to whose interior pressure is better. I mean, you talk about Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea going after Mahomes versus, you know, Chris Jones in that interior pocket. That's going to be the key play in my mind.
By the way, Cam, does Brady talk at all during the games? Did you try talking to him? Did he talk back?
Yeah, absolutely. But does he talk back? No. I mean, he's got a phenomenal life. Quarterbacks are good people. Now, I would say David Onyemata definitely put a hit on him, and he got upset, but he's getting upset at the ref for not protecting him. I mean, you know how this league is now. You know, quarterbacks get halos, and they're not even at practice anymore. Look like they're on the field looking for a red jersey still.
So we haven't talked about this, but this is an elephant in the room. Drew Brees may not retire. What are your thoughts on Drew and his future?
Drew's a go to the game. You talk about what he's accomplished on the field. It puts him first ballot Hall of Fame, no doubt. I mean, this is somebody who I played with for the last 10 years, and I haven't had to worry about him retiring. So I don't really have to worry about that until he does. I've had to worry about rumors every year since I've been a part of the Saints. You know, rumors of him being traded, rumors of him, you know, retire, rumors of et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I've never had to worry about it. So I'll cross that bridge when I do. If he does end up retiring, then I'll call him and say my goodbyes then. But until it happens, I don't have to worry about it.
So obviously Drew had a rough finish to the season. How much was that due to injuries, and how much was that due to age?
I feel like, you know, everybody on the outside of the locker room throws age around so fast when it comes to guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees, you know, Phillip Rivers, even, you know, every other year, Aaron Rodgers. But when you see what, you know, how they take to the game, that's nothing that, you know, age is just a number for them. But what I do see, you know, is this year he definitely played with so many ribs broken. I mean, you know, he had the hand issue last year. He's faced a lot of adverse situations the last 2 years, and yet we still overcame as a team. So he's come back and played the way that we expect him to. It didn't go down the way we wanted to this last game. And that's something that, you know, we'll take as an anomaly because we know who Drew Brees is as a quarterback.
If Drew does retire, Is there a preference? Would you like to see them re-sign Jameis, give him an opportunity, or Taysom? They re-sign Taysom with an opportunity, with saying that he would get an opportunity to replace. Do you believe you guys can get back in Super Bowl contention without Drew Brees?
I believe that we've shown as a team we've won with Drew Brees, of course, and gone far with Drew Brees, as well as in regular season. You've seen Teddy Bridgewater take him where we went 5-0, Taysom take him when we went 3-1 with them at quarterback. So I believe that we have a winning organization, a winning locker room, a winning team that can propel us well into the playoff situation. But we are looking for a Super Bowl, and I do believe that if the organization ordains Jameis to be a starter, we'll be just fine with that.
So you pretty much guaranteed before this season started that
he escapes the pocket, and yet he's still looking downfield to make those big electric plays. And at the same time, you know, he is a bigger body. He can take off with his feet, so you have to be well aware. You're trying to keep him in the pocket. At the same time, you're still trying to get to him. I mean, he's somebody who can beat you with his arm.
So, Cam, what happened in that game at New Orleans late in the year, December 20th, when Kansas City visited? Again, the score is 32-29, so it looks like you're in the game.